Honorable viewers, welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Department of English. Today I would like to share with you The Guide. It's a novel written by Narayan. So let's get started. Yes, it is summary. Narayan is a writer of ordinary humanity and ordinary emotions. He was born in 1906 in Madras. He graduated in 1930 from the Maharaja College, Mysore. He is regarded as a pure literature or literary artist. The Guide is one of the most popular novels of him. He was awarded for The Guide in 1960. The novel became so popular that it was translated into many languages of the world and even a film was made on it. The guide narrates the adventures of a tourist guide, popularly known as Railway Raju. Raju is the hero of this novel. Raju begins his career as a stall keeper, but soon he becomes popular as a tourist guide. So he appoints a boy to look after the stall and becomes a full-fledged tourist guide. One day he comes into contact with Marco and Rossio, who have arrived at Malgodi as tourists. Both the husband and wife are impressed by Raju and Marco hires him as a full-time guide. Raju falls in love with Rosie at the very first sight and appreciates her beauty and her dancing skill. Royce is also attracted towards Raju, as she is always neglected by Marco. Raju and Rosie spend a lot of time together and they also satisfy the desire of each other. Marco is busy in the study. They meet physically. One day, Rossio confesses before her husband about her relationship with Raju, and in this way, Marco comes to know about the illicit relationship between Raju and Rossi. He immediately dismisses Raju from his service. After a month, Marco leaves Malgudi, telling Rossio that she is free to go anywhere and that he no longer considers her his wife. Rosie decides to go to Raju and goes to his house. When Raju sees her, he is pleasantly surprised and offers her a shelter in his house. Though Raju's mother does not forbid or object initially. But when Rosie starts practicing dance, she is annoyed. She wants Rosie to leave her house, but Raju always comes to Rosie's rescue. Since Raju is in deep financial problem, he decides to utilize Rosie's dancing skill for monetary purpose. He succeeds in arranging a show for her. Rosie's first performance on stage is highly appreciated by everybody, and soon she gets offers of more and more engagements. Within a short time, she becomes a popular dancer and earns enormous wealth and money. Now, Raju lives a life of luxury on the money earned by Rosie. He is now the business manager of Rosie, and anybody who wants to meet Rosie must take his permission. One day, the postman brings a book which is written by Marco. Raju hides the book because he is afraid that Rosie might be impressed by Marco's genius and may decide to go back to him. In order to keep control over Rosie and out of greed, he even copies her signature. Marco has sent some documents for Rosie's signature. After, sing, after singing the document, Rosie would be able to get a jewelry box, which Marco has deposited in a bank. Raju copies the signature of Rosie to get the box of jewelry. Raju copies the document and posts it back but does not tell Rosie about the document. As a result of this copy, he is convicted and imprisoned for 2 years. Imprisoned means jail. Rosie goes to Madras and leads an independent life of her own. In the jail, Raju turns out to be an ideal prisoner and his behavior and conduct is praised by all the officials. The superintendent of the jail is particularly impressed by Raju and he remakes his conviction. One is released from the jail. Raju takes shelter in an isolated temple on the bank of the river. A few miles away from Malgudi, an ignorant villager named Valen mistakes him for a holy man and mentions his problem to him. His problem relates to his half-sister who has run away from the home on the day fixed for her marriage. Raju asks the man to bring his sister to by Raju or to him. The girl is so much impressed by Raju's personality. Problem is solved by Raju. This establishes Raju's fame as a holy man and a villain becomes his devoted disciple. The simple villagers take him to be a holy man and begin to worship him and bring him lots of stables as gifts, eatable gifts. Raju does not want to insult their sentiments and so acts like a Swami or saint, delivers sermons and tries to solve the problems of the villagers. He is quite comfortable and performs the new role of a saint to perfection. However, soon there is a severe famine and drought. There is a failure of the crops and wells and tank dry up. Prices go up. The shopkeepers charges high prices and there are quarrels between the shopkeepers and the villagers. The news of the violence disturbs Raju as he fears the intervention of the police and the disclosure of his identity. Raju sends a message through Helen's foolish brother that he will not take food until both of the groups compromise. Things take a dramatic turn when Villain's first disciple of Raju, foolish brother, destroys Raju's message and informs the villagers that the Swami will not eat anything until there is rain instead of till there is stop fighting. The villagers are highly obliged to Raju for his fasting for their welfare. The people bless their stars that their village has been blessed with such a holy man who is willing to sacrifice his own life for the welfare of the villagers. They have full faith in Raju. Raju, who is unaware of this new development, is disappointed when villain comes to thank him for his fasting, while Raju has actually been waiting for food. Raju decides secretly to run away, but the fear of the police stops him from doing so. On the 12th day of his fast, Raju is tired and falls down, but there are signs of rain on the distant horizon. Raju, the tourist guide, turned prisoner and the prisoner turned Swami, becomes a martyr for the cause of the common people. Narayan's chief concern as a novelist has been to give an artist expression to his views of Indian life. Mangala and Malgudi are two representatives of typical Indian village. The guide is a regional novel. Narayan's irony can be seen in the rise and fall of all his characters, especially Raju. Raju dies as a genuine Swami. As a Swami, he is caught in his own trap trap that indicates fate of irony. Irony also exists in the contrast or disparity between Raju and Marco. Marco achieves the figure of a great scholar and Raju attains sainthood. The novel is full of ironical statements. Ironically, death brings glory to Raju. Copying signature lands him in jail and lies land him sainthood. The author makes his novel tragic comedy. There is a mangling of tragic and comic elements. Raju's rise and fall results in tragic comic irony. So that's all about today's topic, the guide written by Narayan. For the timing, thanks for your patience sharing. Bye bye.